up level 1 and 2, right? Like Morphling at his weakest, maybe this Murr to Bristleback +1, you know, if Malady pops through a Twin Gate or something. After staying up top. We'll see what happens though as we get into it. Game 1, 2-game series here on the group stage for DreamLeague Season 26. Gaimin Gladiators already going to EWC, but still looking for, you know, points, pride, practice, all the P's, while Edge looking to prove themselves.
Indeed. I'm excited to watch this Kazakhstan team that is Gaimin Gladiators now. You know, you got both of Watson and Malady as well. Takes me back to good old days of watching Kazakhstan teams like Next KZ back in the days.
Oh yeah.
I actually played against someone just yesterday who lives like next door together with some of the Next KZ players, Mantis and the rest. I'm like, oh, you know, good to see some old player.
That's good.
He's like,
still around.
He's like, I'm an old player. I'm like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 28. I'm like, dude, get out of here. What do you mean you're an old player? Whole life ahead of you.
God, I'm trying to remember. I have a very clear memory of what happened, but I can't remember who it was. I feel like it was Next KZ, but it was back in the days when you would buy like TP scrolls and recipes to stockpile stuff and then sell it. And he was like a position 4 Earthshaker, and he had like 28 TP scrolls or something when you could sell them for 75%, and he waited and waited and then lost the game before he could even buy Blink.
I mean, yeah, times were tough back then for supports. It's not like current, you know, this sounds like a crazy strat to any newer fan of Dota, but back then it was harder to come by gold, you know. You didn't get paid for everything. You didn't have any bounty runes. You didn't have as high passive gold. You didn't get as much gold for assisting in a kill. So supports were really on a tough payroll, and you had to save up whatever you could, put in an offshore account called items you can sell later.
Yeah.
At least that way you didn't lose gold.
Yeah, we had like different sell values for stuff, right? Whereas like recipes you'd sell for like 50% or TP scrolls sold for 75%. I can't remember.
Recipes sold for a lot. At the best time, recipes sold for like 80%, I think. There was like people buying a bunch of Soul Ring recipes because they were cheap or whatever. And the different times, different eras. But yeah, Next KZ were there through a lot of it. A lot of the players still play. Run into them every now and then.
I mean, we had a pretty big rise in this kind of Central Asian Dota player demographic as well. You know, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, bringing quite a lot of players to the forefront, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, Dota is...
And was it Mouse Sports have brought back Dream? Days, cut, whatever he's called now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always cast these games when it was cut, and I was like, wait, who's this guy?
Kami, that was his other name.
He's got plenty of names.
He does. Enough to go around. You can make an entire team with just his personalities.
Starting out the game, looks like both teams are going to get 2 runes each. No real advantage starting out from the gold. Heading down on lanes, we're going to see attempt body block from Edge. Going in for this body block on the enemy creep wave. Such a foreign thing if you haven't seen it before. Like, why are you blocking for the enemy? But this does put the creep wave under tower. Specifically, the Radiant safe lane doesn't need much body block at all to go under tower. Just a tiny amount. Like, look at this. He blocked a lot, and you're gonna see how far those creeps go under tower. Like, this was way more than you need to block it.
Like, this would be considered griefing a couple of years ago.
Yeah. But now Dota has evolved to this point where, like, yeah, off laners, you know, we don't want to lane down here. We want to get the first lane bouncing up to us. The harder your lane is, the more unstable you want it, right? If a lane is difficult, you want it to be bouncing back and forth. If the lane is easy, you want to lock it down and keep the equilibrium.
Yeah, just freeze it. But it's just funny that, you know, it used to be the mark of an exceptional mid player how good their mid block was, and now it's just like, who cares?
Yeah, mid blocking is instead the mid players are just fighting for runes along with the rest of the team. So mid blocking is not really done that much. I feel like we might see a return of the mid blocking though at some point, because you know it is still very impactful getting your high ground. And at some point I feel like some star mid player is gonna start doing it, and everyone else is gonna copy it. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, he always wins his lane because he always gets the mid lane advantage.
Yeah, or they'll move some jungle camps, you know, closer towards mid, and we'll have the dual mid lanes come back again. You can start playing anti-mage with Crystal Maiden again, Varga.
Just have your neighboring Crystal Maiden farming with Frostbite, hanging out. That's great. Then he could go for the other water rune while I take the the safe one.
Yeah, I mean, I was tuning into some, like, Heroes of New Earth. Is Malady dead here? Pugna's pretty fast.
It hurt.
Miss uphill. Jakiro doing a lot of damage. Dual breath and the final touches. He can't deny himself to neutral, so Michael gets first blood on Malady.
I was surprised to see Jakiro running along with him there. I mean, Pugna's so fast and slippery, but actually managed to track him down. Top lane, they're trying to track down the Tinker and kind of bring him down.
And now, yeah, I mean, he tried to TP home, no? Rough stuff.
Yeah, so TP home means he's gonna have to walk back to lane, and Tinker, yeah, doesn't really have any impact on this lane for quite a while now.
And that's a Morphling who, I don't want to say he's struggling, but it's not been an easy first couple of levels, as expected. Bristleback taking that slight lead in the lane.
This is super concerning, Gareth. I said it when the game started. He needs to have a good lane. He's shut down the Bristleback because his other lanes are just naturally going to have a hard time. And this is not the start that we needed for Morphling for Edge. And obviously, mid lane, you know, PP doesn't have much room to outplay. You're a tiny, like, yeah, this is gonna happen. Jingu is gonna happen. You can't really prevent it. Boots on the Monkey King already.
He's got one of the best names in esports, though.
The PP.
Yeah. It was so good during SADPC. We had mid laner called Mini, and then, of course, it was against PP. Like, so Division 2 was like non-stop Mini PP.
Yeah. We got some funny player names.
Man, Malady's getting punched out pretty hard down here. Jakiro kills off the ward, but Watson is still out farming everyone.
He is out farming, but he missed like 4 CS in a row now. Missed the Centaur as well. He did get the Troll at least, but missed the banner creep and a lot of stuff to that pole. But he is ahead, of course, leading the way in farm. Now with Boots on Lina as well. Gotta be even harder to ever close the distance to him.
Come on,
so far,
you up some items, please.
So far, it's the 1 point in Dragon Slave. We'll see if he just leaves it at 1 point, if he puts more points into it. The old carry Lina was indeed just 1 point Dragon Slave and never put more points. Just kills stat and stun and Fiery Soul.
It's like more mana efficient to keep up your Fiery Soul through the stun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, also, well, level 1 Dragon Slave is only 100 mana cost, so it was very good to have the 2 of them at low level. And now we see the damage coming in, the speed of his auto attacks. Level 2 Fiery Soul is a crazy power spike. You go from 8 attack speed bonus to 16 per stack. And, you know, 16 times 7, that is starting to really add a ton of attack speed into a mix.
Yeah, all of a sudden just whirling out these hits. Vitali, he's done a pretty good job here getting 17 last hits, but this is where things get much more challenging. Just across the board, Gaimin Gladiators having a better grasp on this early laning stage. As the Tinker is yet again being run at by Muerta and Bristleback. Yadomi, yeah, he's trying to heal himself up with Wand and even spending the Fairy Fire. Still inevitably dead.
Yeah, he did have neutral. So, yeah, he got the deny, always something, but again leaves his Morphling alone, subject to the harassment of this Muerta. And Tofu Muerta is really strong. He has played quite a few games on this hero. One of his favorites as of late.
Yeah, Tofu Muerta is known. Far and wide across the land.
And he's gonna make his way across the land as well, going to check the 6-minute rune. He already made his way. We also see the bottom support kind of gravitating towards mid.
Lina mid was often picked as a counter to carry Morphling, right?
Yeah. For bursting him later on.
Yeah,
oh no, Tinker.
PP helping you, don't
A lot of damage.
But Tinker looks pretty dead. Hang on a second. Quinn not able to finish the job. Respecting Michael's rotation here, but Tofu taking the brunt of the damage, tries to get to high ground. Quinn turning with a dead shot missing. They can't swipe down on Michael, but they do keep Tofu alive.
Yeah, gonna keep him just fine. So both teams getting close to dropping there. Pugna sitting around with the DD rune. Gets a few pot shots in on Jakiro. Might help push mid. He could stick around for a catapult push a bit. But looks like he wants to go down bottom. Not happy to let the Brewmaster get his level 6. And Brew is going for the standard build as well. Magic Stick, Double Bracer into the Raindrop and then Radiant. So skipping boots. This is very common for Brewmasters. Just want to get the Radiance as soon as possible.
He's got boots.
Oh, he did have him on courier. Okay. So actually, it did go for him.
Little brown boots. But yeah, you don't upgrade to like anything, right? For now.
No. I mean, most of the time it's actually fully skipped. He's going to go for the Wisdom, but finds that the mid player is already here, the Monkey King.
Boy, howdy. Ah, not level 6 yet. Trying to sprint away. Jingu stacked her up for Quinn, though, as PP. He's going to come in to make his presence known, but the calling's down, the silence is there, and the Lina with a stun. PP gets connected upon, while the Monkey King being burst near that tier 2. Jakiro and Brew, they turn on him, but the decrypt save. Maybe Quinn can get out of here alive. No. The dual breath takes him down, while Pike is rotated in, turns to Lina, and kills off Malady.
Yeah, a bit of a slow onto the Murta from the toss as well, but I think he's going to be fine for now. But from the left, in comes the help. There's a Wind Panda running. Watson is sticking around to try and help. Actually looking for the pickoff, but now he's in danger.
Yeah, I mean, a big stun into Laguna Blade, but not enough damage to finish off the Morphling. Sidesteps a Dragon Slave, waveforms over the top, and kills off the Lina.
Yeah, they saw him is the problem. There was a dire ward that spotted Lina, so Morphling morphed enough HP to be fine. You see that little lane ward there? It saw Lina sitting around the tree line. And yeah, Pake gonna be completely fine. Fantastic engagement for them. Getting the punishment on both the Monkey and the Lina. Meanwhile, though, the top lane is being left pretty exposed. Bristleback has been enjoying his own time here, but Pugna also helping out pushing the tower a bit faster.
It's wild how different things can be when you have, like, I guess, a bias heading into this. You know, thinking Gaimin Gladiators, the stronger team, Edge, the underdogs. I've been sitting here thinking, yeah, Gaimin Gladiators, they've been moving around, getting kills, looking good. In my head, Tinker has died like 4 times, but he's died once.
He's been so
it's
close.
Edge with the 4 kills.
Well, he died twice, to be fair. It doesn't show on the scoreboard, but he did die once to neutrals. And it kind of counts, I guess, because he was away from lane. But yeah, indeed, he was very close to dying a 3rd time on the mid lane there. But yeah, Edge are actually pulling ahead a little bit, just in terms of engagement, but losing the top tower already. That's structural damage, Gareth. You can't get that building back.
No, and that's the big point of contention as well that you were bringing up earlier on, is the Bristleback hasn't been dealt with. This is a, you know, we always talk about Ace being the real carrier of this team. He's playing Bristleback in the off lane, but he is top of the net worth. He's killed the enemy tower, and he's going to start scaling. And now you are, I mean, minute 10, Edge are already in a spot where they're looking at 3 heavy-hitting cores that are getting their own way early on, while Tiny, you know, slipping behind a little bit in the net worth, relying on this blink timing for PP to get something done in that mid game. Morphling needs more time to get towards his item timings, and of course Brew going Radiant is kind of a slow extended jog towards that.
Uh-oh. Tinker. This time gonna be difficult to get out as the Boundless Strike is there to stun him. Should he try to TP? It's not even gonna do anything. No reason to even attempt to TP out, of course. Malady got tossed back on the mid lane, but he's gonna be fine. For a bit at least, until Brewmaster comes in.
Monkey King is nearby with a Boundless, though. I was wondering if it was going to force the Primal Split, but Fatali decided it's not worth going for a Pugna with just that.
Yeah, Pugna wants to sit around and leech his level 6. If he gets that, he can always fix his HP pool very easily with a Drain. Do we have items queued up yet? Maelstrom is starting build from Watson still. Makes a lot of sense. You do need farm rate.
Can we kill him before split? Oh yeah, we absolutely can. Laguna Blades in. Good chain stuns. And Brew dead.
And this is their chance to start eyeing up a second tower.
And then rotations. Nice come in from PP and Michael. Tofu, though, pops his ulti, turns and fights. And Monkey King jumping across the treetops here to get on top of the Jakiro is going to clear out Michael's Jakiro.
Yeah, nice takedown. At least getting that kill on the mid lane. Pake finding a nice takedown on the Pugna. Getting something. Right now, Morphling not too happy with the fact that he's not able to sit and farm on the side lane. Normally we see Morphlings being the ones pushing towers and being annoying with the Vladimir's early game, but all his towers are just under siege this game. already lost top. Mid tower is being eyed up. Pugna is back with a vengeance.
Yeah, come and deal with this bristleback. Toss them into the March of the Machines. All the robots going to work. Decrep and falling as saves. They do have a life drain, but bristleback's already dead. Morphling showing up to these early fights, starting to... I mean, he's literally dominating right now. 4-0-0.
Doing a great job, and that was just barely that they bring him down, but thanks to that, they can now be the ones to strike first on mid building. Mid tower gonna go down without having to use the Brewmaster ulti, but looks of it. They do glyph it. Monkey and Lina have not made their way over. They're actually just backing out. Ooh, Edge with so many heroes on mid and deciding not to go for the tower without even any reaction coming out from Gaimin Gladiators. I think Gladiators got that one a little bit cheap. Normally you want to at least force the reaction, force someone to TP in there, force the Monkey or Lina to make their way over.
Instead, they just keep on farming. So Lina, you were talking earlier, did go for Maelstrom first. Of course, yeah. Not going to be the Gleipnir, that no longer exists. Mjolnir first item.
Yeah, it's going to be Mjolnir first item. I mean, we've seen this a lot on a few different heroes, the Mjolnir first item build. It does farm incredibly fast. It's pretty vulnerable though, very low HP. So yeah, we'll see how well it's going to work out. I do think there's a long window where he can get ganked and he can die quite easily with this build.
Yeah, but I guess the static charge onto Bristleback, the attack speed and the lightning from the Lina. There's a lot of damage with these frontliners to protect her.
For sure, yeah. And adds so much magic damage against a Morphling. Later on, if he adds, Travels, BKB, and a Brooch or something, he can start really laying on the hurt onto Morphling. And for now, the two tower-pushing heroes of Gaimin Gladiators are occupying the mid lane, the Pugna and the Bristleback. Bristol doesn't want to die this time, though, so playing a little bit more respectfully. Not just running up and hitting the tower.
Yeah, especially knowing that this blink on Tiny was emerging pretty soon. It has been delivered to him, and he's smoked up with the Jakiro. It looks like they're angling towards that bottom jungle, maybe to try and find Lina, but Watson has already evacuated that bottom lane and moved into triangle.
Yeah, around 14-minute mark, you don't really want to be sitting down here and farming. You want to go and open up the rest of the map. Monkey just flying in on mid lane. Diving in and looking for something, clearing out
from the
house.
top rope onto the soil, he got him!
Yeah, actually gonna steal away a little bit of jungle farm from the enemy, taking the Ancients.
A couple of big ancient neutrals. And now Ace shifting his efforts down to bottom to protect this tier 1. Again, it's around 15 minutes. You don't want to give this one away for Tormentor access. Quinn was also cutting them off at the pass if there was an opportunity to make a go happen. And this is all smoke and mirrors. They're moving mid, moving bottom, pivoting away from the Lina to give her a lot of free time.
Yeah. Yeah, smoke and mirrors, but also being effective on the map. They're doing stuff. They're also looking at Tormentor right now, and we don't see any reaction from Edge. So they're pushing mid a bit with Tiny. Maybe they can get that tower at least, but I don't think they know that Tormentor is being taken right now. Okay, their wards see the couriers come across, but that informs them, but it's too late already.
Yeah, far too late.
Free shard over on the Pugna, more range on that nether ward, and also can now target that with his ulti.
Minute 15 Mjolnir. I want one of those little stat boxes to pop up saying fastest ever.
It's a rapid Mjolnir for sure. Not many heroes can go for a brown boot into Mjolnir like this. The benefit of being a ranged hero, and Brewmaster ulti going in.
Yeah, chasing into Tofu with Macropire over the top of Quinn. But it looks like with this pipe out of Ace, they've protected themselves now with the Wukong's command, and they've turned onto the Primal Split, looking for the Earth Panda. PP trying his hardest there with his initiation to zone out Ace and bully back Quinn, but Tiny's put himself in harm's way, nearly dies to the blast, will get finished off by the big old Boundless Strike, and Edge, I mean, not much more they can do at this point here. This fight feels pretty over for them.
Yeah, they cannot stand against this, and almost think they shot themselves in the foot there with a toss back on the Bristleback. He is not the target. They threw him in, and everyone was like, no, I do not want a Bristol next to me. Especially when he has the Pugna medic behind him. this gives all the green lights go for Gaimin Gladiators as the Brewmaster ulti is on cooldown and Radiance is still far away for the Brewmaster, or at least not completed yet. They could just go for more towers, do whatever they want. This monkey can get spot onto the Brewmaster. He does see him now.
Oh, it's so rough if Brew keeps on dying. His Radiance is like 1,000 away from Relic. Gets kicked away from any jungle camps he could try and farm. And this Tinker, clipped by the dead shot, got life drained down to within an inch of his life, nearly dies. And this is given an opportunity to Gaimin Gladiators to do a tremendous amount of structural damage to that tier 2 and force a glyph out of Edge.
Yeah, right now this is a difficult defense to sort of mount, but the Tinker is doing a good job holding. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Watson finds the pick off together with Tofu. Just the support that kind of signals the two cores to scram and get out of here. Morphling and Tiny. This area is not safe anymore. I believe travels are coming in for the Lina. Yeah, travels are done. So 15 minutes Mjolnir, 17-minute travels. Farm is definitely staying high-paced here for Watson.
Well, that's the thing. He's now got his farming items, right?
Yeah, now we can start farming. Yeah.
We can start farming. Oh my god, I mean, it gives him so much presence on the map now. And you can think about him as a Spectre or a Dawnbreaker, basically. Farm on this side of the map, deep on your side, then be able to TP to the other, where Bristleback, Monkey King can scout out, playing forward. Great spot to be in as Gaimin Gladiators. As we're still in this waiting game, you know, we talked about the Brew. His Radiance is a few moments out, coming in on the Courier now. But Tiny, his Blink reveal, the debut of that didn't really pay out. He's got to wait for his next item. And I've got to ask, Morphling. He's kind of felt strong this game, making some good early rotations. But is he ready?
I mean, he wants Pike badly. Not just because that's his name, but also because he needs Hurricane Pike. Otherwise, he could get trapped in Wukong's here. He could be run down by the Bristleback. Oh, they're trying to go on Bristol. That's not the target.
But Ace is just running at them. 1v3, and Morphling, he's gone to kill off Malady and gets blown up for the efforts. Yeah, I mean, drop all those chat wheel lines. I don't know what Morphling's doing there.
I mean, they tried to poke on the Bristol and then go on the medic afterwards, but dive onto a tower.
It's all falling apart now, isn't it? Tinker dead. Gaimin Gladiators feeling themselves and diving tier 2. Wukong's out to protect from the primal split.
Pandas are dying.
On a couple of those pandas, and they are just getting obliterated. Earth Panda surviving. Tiny waiting in the wings here to maybe jump onto the monkey or the Lina, but PP. Does he go in? He blinks forward. He's been caught out though. Stunned and killed. Doesn't even get anything. Now Vitali with the primal split ending, getting jumped on by the Quinn Monkey King. Quinn's going to leave him alone because he sees the Jakiro, a much easier target. Tapped down by Ace and Watson. Picks up a double kill on the Lina. And Edge, this is all slipped out of their hands very quickly.
It's all disconnected. Like, two heroes trying to fight into the Bristleback plus Pugna. They end up losing their Morphling very quickly there, even though they brought down the Pugna. But then after Morphling dies, there's no way you can fight. And Brewmaster ulti came in way after most of the exchange already happened. Gaimin Gladiators just picking them apart. Also, I really like their targeting on Gaimin Gladiators. They quickly just realized whenever Brew uses ulti, they immediately try and kill all the pandas.
Quinn? Well, hang on. PP? Tiny's got in here thinking that Quinn was out of position. But look who's arrived!
Oh,
it's
Tofu.
Watson out of nowhere!
Tofu with a beautiful silence there into the fear, keeping the Morphling from doing anything.
I mean,
this game is just falling apart. It's
all like you say it, not me.
It's all on the ground right now. They've dropped the Voss here. You can't repair it. I normally talk about what teams can do to turn around and make a comeback, but 13k lead 20 minutes into the game. Age is still not even expended. They're looking at high ground. They got a catapult wave. Brewmaster ulti is still on half-minute cooldown. This is all kinds of despair. Yeah, they're gonna force out the glyph. Probably back out and just take the mid-tier 2 tower. It's being pinged out right now. Quinn is saying, guys, play for a safe objective. And it's hard to even tell them what they should be doing at this stage. The Tiny has just dropped off a cliff in terms of gold. He's so far behind. He did very well early on, to be honest. He kept pace pretty well with a monkey, but now he's 6k net worth against almost 12k.
It's wild. Wildly different. And there's just no breathing room when this bristleback is running in 1v4. Pops the pipe, 16-1 charges ready. Ace has zoned you all out so that the rest of the team can focus on this primal split of the Brewmaster. And Vitaly has used this defensively to try and run away. Yadomi will get a D-ward in the middle of dying because Quinn has jumped down his throat, killed the Tinker off, and Vitaly's about to follow him into the grave. Stunned up and controlled for days. Finally blasted down. And Edge with another 2 heroes hitting the deck here, getting chased into their base by the tier 4 towers as Watson and Ace step up.
I mean, they blast them all so fast. I could swear that you get 4 pandas when you use Primal Split, but you just turned into 1 Earth Panda, Gareth. I didn't even see the other ones. They're gone before anything even happens.
Little Ags familiar.
Yeah.
The Primal Companion.
Slight nerf to the Brewmaster's. Ulti is now Primal Companion.
Yep, that's unfortunate.
One of
yeah, I mean, I don't know what the team comms are like in the Edges camp. You know, is it wait for Morphling? But you can't. He's sitting in the base waiting for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, there's some desperations about we need to go together. I think the last like 5 minutes they've said it over and over. Like, guys, we need one fight where we have all our stuff, but they haven't been allowed to have it. This has been split too much, picked apart by the mobility here. Monkey again finding Tiny. And with him dropping, that's gonna signal them to go high ground.
Yeah, onto the Tinker, onto tier 3s. I don't know what PP is doing outside of the base there, but I mean, dying, obviously.
Yeah,
Dead
and
for 20
Lina,
seconds.
we're not gonna find out too much about what he wanted to go for as itemization this game, I think. But Hurricane Pike, you know, after the Mjolnir. This is also what he did use to go back in the good old days. Watson carry Lina. The Hurricane Pike was one of the instrumental items.
Yeah, then I guess like Daedalus, Satanic, MKB, they can all be added when needed.
Actually, his old build was very low on damage items. It was like all survivability. It was Gleipnir, Hurricane Pike, Skadi,
Lincolns.
yes,
Yeah.
Lincolns,
You're
Travels.
right. Yeah.
It was no damage item per se. It was just like Gleipnir for DPS. And then he had 4,000. Satanic was the final item, and he ended up having like 4,000 HP and being unkillable. This time he is going for the Brute, so he's doing the build that I thought he would, the Mjolnir and Brute. Of course, with a little pit stop for the Hurricane Pike first. Speaking of Pike, Pike does not have his namesake either yet this game. He's at 700 gold, still needs quite a bit more to finish up that Hurricane.
And a bit of calm for Gaimin Gladiators.
I think they all just needed
Roshan.
time to spend money. I think they were all like, guys, we have too much gold. Can we take a little shopping spree break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing D&D with your group. You've done 7 dungeons. You've killed a big bag.
Can we long rest now?
Like,
Can we
long rest and go shopping? Is there a town where I can buy some gems?
Gaimin Gladiators are long resting on Edge here. That's what's happening. They're leveling up. Yeah. Have you done anything?
Roll for an encounter while you long rest. It's like, okay, nothing happened. There's a quiet, balmy night in the forest. Nothing's gonna bother you at all.
Used to play a Swedish similar D&D called Drakar och Demoner, Dragons and Demons, where you had to kind of have done special things. After every session, you gotta tell your DM like, okay, what have you done that you deserve to level up? It's like, well, let's see here. I've attempted something here. Like, okay, I'll give you that.
Little means testing.
Yeah. It was, you had to kind of, it was like a team meeting. Like, okay, what have we done this week?
Do you deserve the promotion? Not sure about that. A raise in this economy?
All right, now
XP doesn't grow on trees, you know.
It definitely doesn't. And not in dire trees, at least. The radiant trees might actually be infused with something because they are all flying ahead here, level-wise, gold-wise. I mean, their supports are sitting at level 12 and 14. And looking over to the course, I mean, PP is level 12, dude. He's having a tough time.
He's bottom 3 net worth. Yeah, it is. Catastrophic.
He's behind every single player on the Radiant. No need to sugarcoat it. He's been overtaken by the Murta, who's actually not even that farmed, all things considered. All the towers that have fallen. Tofu has not been very greedy this game.
And Yodomi just trying to keep the waves outside of the base as much as you can. But it is nice to see, Edge not completely just giving up. They're holding high ground, waiting in a position where they can fight down into low ground, pushing waves with the Tinker. But as soon as they feel and realize that Gaimin Gladiators are invading, very wisely deciding to back up.
Oh, they're trying to force the split. They want him to click that button to force that to keep him alive.
God.
Yeah. He didn't have to use his ulti, so that's good. They need all their tools at once. Everything needs to hit together, otherwise there's no way. And honestly, their burst is pretty bad, so I think it needs to be like chain stun with Morphling jumping in and hitting.
Toss back Lina, and then 4 staffs away. So Watson's fine, and now Tiny's exposed. Wukong's is out onto Michael. Jakiro is dying, and the primal split has been wasted yet again. I'm saying this negatively, but that is the best that they could have done, right? They tried, they got the jump on Lina, doesn't work out, and that is just the state of affairs that Edge are currently dealing with. Tinker dead, Monkey King with his BKB, free reign to dish out the damage, forcing Pyke to waveform away, but now clipped by the Gleipnir as Lina steps forward. The machine gun has arrived. The Mjolnir and the Brooch going to work, taking down another hero in Michael, and GG is forced out as Edge tap out of a disaster.
Yeah, you went safe with us.
Anyway, we've got ourselves Pyke and PP here as we get ourselves into game 2. Gaimin Gladiators against Edge. The DreamLeague Season 26 group stage. Vitali on the Terrorblade, Michael and Yodomi, the 2 supports, wandering alongside him. Already getting out towards lane. Gaimin Gladiators with a 1-game advantage. 1-game lead? I don't know what to call it in a 2-game series.
Yeah, I got the one game lead, I guess. The 1-game advantage makes you think of the BO5 finals in, winner having a 1-game advantage going into it. So yeah, the lead, I guess, is less ambiguous. But either way, they did make short work of that first game. If you missed it, Gaimin Gladiators, I mean, you could watch it if you want to see a clinic, but honestly, it was pretty one-sided. So they just looked pretty dominant.
Yeah, just load up the replay, watch Watson farm, basically.
Yeah.
Just end the game.
We have a little pause. Speaking of, watching someone farm, it makes me wonder, my thought went like this. Okay, he's just farming, so they kind of won the game without him, which makes me think of Liquid, who, they're playing in a Liquid facility. Liquid recently uploaded a series of how many noobs does it take to beat a pro team. Have you seen that one?
I've not watched it yet. No, I saw some of the comments and stuff around it because it was like Boxy versus like 10 heralds or whatever.
Yeah, it was in Insania, Sablelight, and I think Boxy were playing, and they started out playing 3v6 was like the starting, and then they made the odds worse from there, and it's pretty funny setup, to be honest. I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone who wants to watch it. Check it out on Team Liquid's YouTube. Yeah, I think it's good content, good fun. Team Liquid,
we've all seen the clips of the footballers, right? Like in the Japanese league or whatever, or Messi or whatever, with the 100 school kids just running circles around them.
Now that's a shaker ulti.
Jeez. The younglings, leave them alone, Waga. Turn to the dark side.
It turned out that, some heroes are pretty damn good when you play against a lot of enemies. Pretty nice to have like Bristleback or something. Fare pretty well against a huge number of enemies.
So what Earthshaker Fisher blocking? Like an old classic thing to do?
Yeah, he's just doing Fisher block. This is, of course, different from what we saw in the previous game where they were blocking the enemy creep wave. Now, just gonna trap your own creep wave using the Fisher. He's gonna do it a second time. He's got the Clarity plus the Sage's Mask, so getting nice mana regen. This is gonna put the lane in a fantastic spot. So basically, you don't have to sack the first creep wave. Now you're able to get the same positioning without giving free farm away. This is going to be a tough lane, though. Centaur Shaker against the Warlock Luna. I mean, this is Warlock Luna favored. Nice by Pyke. He pulls the melee creep back there, using his Lucent Beam.
And Fatal Bonds just pushing that wave forward, so then it'll kind of eddy back towards the Radiant Tier 1. And up in this top lane, Vitali and Michael. Terrorblade, Shadow Shaman against AA, TA. Oh, Watson.
Ooh.
He's just dead. The preemptive sentry ready and a level 1 kill.
I didn't think he would die, but the blood grenade, the slow from the chicken fingers, and the reflection, he could not move. Gets caught out too far out and just brought down. Not a death that should happen on this lane. Dying without metamorphosis even committed as well. The level 1 death. Uncharacteristic mistake by Watson, you know. He is usually so clean in his gameplay. And here we see a bit of a replay. He walked pretty close. The Hex came in and boom, just dies so fast.
Yeah, so he wants to go, what, meld, kill a creep, maybe do some harass damage instead. He's level, what, halfway through level 1?
Yeah.
No refraction, no nothing.
Yeah, didn't really have the tools that he wanted. Of course, Tia relies quite heavily on getting 1 point at least in all her abilities when she plays safe lane. So, but level 1, level 2, you're not that strong unless it's a melee strength offlane hero. But against TB, who has so much armor, he does not care that much if you meld strike into him. He has 10 armor to start with, double bracer already now after that kill. I like that choice. Just buff up the HP. And they're going for a kill, looking for AA.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lane where Gaimin Gladiators kind of want to sit back and harass, chip away with the AA long range, get some meld damage in here and there, get to level 3 on the TA, like you're saying. And Edge making the most of this early game weakness from Gaimin Gladiators in this top lane. Getting the Terrorblade off to a great start, and even recentering the lane as well.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job right now. Michael got this lane on lock. He got the block on the small camp. He's got the vision on the lane with the sentrying. And Maldic just struggling to have, you know, the impact that he wants, sitting and just shooting chilling touches from a safe distance. Normally, I would have given the favor to the TAAA lane here, but they've played it really well on the side of Rasta and TB.
Yeah, things not going to plan for Gaimin Gladiators there. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And then mid lane, pretty even, dead even between the Puck and the Sand King.
Yeah, it's a hard lane to outplay, really. I mean, you can do whatever harassment you can as a Puck onto the Sand King, but the bottle charges are going to keep him healthy. And similarly, Sand King doesn't really have kill threat onto the Puck, so both of them are just trying to get their farm. Neither of them getting denied too much so far.
And then bottom lane, a lot of wave dragging. Earthshaker's pulling waves behind tower, Centaur's grabbing it up, Pike's Luna's trying to do the same thing backwards. Got Fisher's blocking creep waves as well.
Trying to keep him away from the creep wave, but it is outside the tower range, so no creeps are going to be missed here for Pake. He'll get his farm. We see him holding point as well. He wants to scale up the Moonglaves, but doesn't want to do so in the laning stage and randomly push the lane when he doesn't want to. Warlock has to be a bit careful walking too far out like this. He could get chain stunned a bit.
And what's Ace's skill build? 1-1-1?
Yeah, he's going 1-1-1 for now. I imagine he's going to go back into maxing Retaliate, what we normally see, just get some nice farm rates. Ace is a pretty greedy Centaur player in that he wants to get quite a bit of gold. It's so funny. Ace is such a conundrum of a player. He's like the peak MMR doesn't matter type pro player, because he's never been like super duper high MMR on leaderboard, and his heroes, he's like silver tier Centaur, and yet I think about all the pro game Centaurs that I've seen from Ace. I've seen him play it a lot, dude, and he plays it really well, but he's silver tier.
Yeah, it's like you think about, like Saberlight and Amar and Mallory and whoever, all these
Grandmaster spammers.
Tier heroes. They got like 15 heroes there. Yeah, hero spam 15 guys, and Ace is just like, nah, I play everyone. Did you forget about my Broodmother, by the way? Yeah, I play. Oh, my Meepo? Yeah, I play Meepo as well. He is like one of the most adaptable, versatile heroes I think Dota has ever seen.
Yeah, he really is. And I think a lot of the skill that Ace has that he brings to competitive is that it's non-transferable to pubs. Because he is such a good player at reading like what the team needs, what do we need to do. And sometimes, in a pub game, all those reads, they're nice, but it doesn't work if one player isn't on the same page as you. So he really shines in competitive. It's so cool to see. Sand King looking to get some extra farm going, but for now just checking the runes. Michael is on top rune against the Puck.
And gets the regen.
Coil is used. Puck wants to fight this.
Michael is going to heal to full.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the region rune going, but the Fissure block is good.
That's nice. Trapped him down in the low ground. Turns into a chicken, and PP does come in here with Yodomi. Fatal bonds onto Tofu, and I guess onto the Puck who jumped away. Maybe a deny onto neutrals, but not going to work out.
Use his body to farm the neutrals instead. Just pop him with the caustic. Extra bit of damage. But yeah, 1 for 1. Heroes going down. Quite a bit of rotation for Radiant. Where's Dire? Still playing that top lane. AA hanging around, getting some pulls going. Yodomi getting the stacks going for the later rotations from Luna as well. Always wants to come in and just farm a massive amount of Ancients once you get to that area.
Yeah, come in, pop off, kill some Ancients, back to farming somewhere else.
So Masker Madness Manta, or Masker Madness Dragonlance Manta, probably gonna be the build for Luna by the looks of things. They're going on her with Centaur Stomp.
Yeah. Oh, it's quite a lot of damage. Control is good. Pike pops the magic wand. The raindrops in the low just not enough to keep her alive as Tofu comes in with that Fissure to help finish him off.
And Quinn is looking at the Sand King, thinking about stealing his lunch money. And he does manage to steal quite a bit in the jungle there. Illusory Orb taking like 4 creeps away in the jungle.
Nice. With all this movement, though, you know, attention towards mid, attention to the bottom, Watson has had to relinquish control of any idea of staying up top near this tier 1.
Yeah,
He goes back into the jungle.
The correct call. This preemptively leaving lane, recognizing danger. Perhaps what Luna might have needed to do bottom as well. Just pop into jungle instead of staying there and getting killed by Centaur. TA is at least going to get herself over to some fast farming grounds over on the Ancients. But top tower cleared out. This is why offlane TB is so good. One of the big key things is that he brings a lot of tower push. And it's going to be the pipe build. I think it's almost mandatory if you go offlane TB that you do go for a pipe. Unless your enemy team has literally no magic damage. Otherwise it's too greedy to play Terrorblade offlane. Puck and Shaker. Swooping around. Got the DD rune on the Puck. Top to Luna.
Able to connect on this Pike Luna. Take it down to half HP. Coil expended as well, but now we start to get the rotations in. Eclipse onto Ace. Good damage from Luna as Pike turns back. Quinn now looking at Yodomi as a kill on the Warlock emerges, but not finished off. Sunned up and healed. Now Tofu stuck behind enemy lines. Does the stun come? No. Nothing to stop the TP out.
Yeah, Burst Strike on cooldown, and they just used the Lucent Beam. So nice recognition there, understanding that, oh, they don't have anything for me right now. Tofu finds a magical way out of that.
Incredible, yeah. I mean, Edge keep the pressure up top. They then react and defend down bottom. We're now in towards mid. Try and get this PP Sand King in towards that first item blink.
That was a very impressive defensive reaction by Edge. I thought they would lose heroes for sure there.
Yeah.
To the Puck with the DD rune, but they managed to somehow stifle the bleeding on the initial assault that came in. The Thunder was also very selfless. The TB showing that he cares about his teammates. This is going to be a quite easy kill though. AA just left being greedy here up on top lane.
Poor little AA.
Yeah, I mean, he was being a bit shameless there. He's hovering in an area that's super dangerous. But this is what you can do sometimes as support. Your carry leaves. Maybe you can get some farm there. Now Warlock does have level 6 and didn't even have to use the book for it. A lot of times you use book to get level 6. But now he can hold on to that book, and that's always a good feel. Maybe you can...
The dream, the level 10 book.
Yeah, get the big book.
Suddenly pop off with experience.
I see this book as, you know, you're adding pages to it. You know, every number on it, that's one more page. It's a really short book right now.
Little journal. I've got a good catch on this Luna, though. Finally finding the angle here. Gaimin Gladiators to take her down, but Watson has lost his life in the mid lane to an equally good move from Edge.
Yeah, getting value out of the Blink Dagger on the Sand King. It's a nice and early timing. Sand King really, really strong in this game. He's gonna go again onto the Shaker. Only level 4 Shaker, no Echo Slam available.
No, and he's already used his Fissure, so he's dead to rights. Stranded between towers. Oh, this Ice Blast, though. That could be a good one if Quinn can follow through with a bit more damage. No way to catch up.
Imagine if he had a blink, but
Yeah.
TA not gonna pop the trap as well. Letting that go.
Instead, going for Yodomi. Cold feet with a melt strike. Watson claiming a life, finally up on the board. It's devolving into a bit of a scrappy game now. I know it was very clean from Edge to defend that bottom tower, get things going, but Gaimin Gladiators is bringing some chaos of their own with these dives and aggressive moves. They're losing out a little bit on this Watson TA, though, dragging his feet at the bottom of the net worth of the cause, but then you compare him with Luna, and it's not that different.
Yeah, Luna is also pretty far back, but her having a Mask of Madness, I do feel like she should be happier being jungle right now than a TA who only has 2 points refraction. Like, yes, she can jungle with a obviously maxed out meld. This is the Void Blades build, so you mainly farm by meld striking the entire waves. As AA looks to be getting chased.
Hang on. Golem dropped, but they lose Michael, and now the Sand King after getting coiled dies as well.
Wow. Massive turnaround there. And the Arcane Rune on Puck as well. Looking for more, but Warlock has to run away. And that was without them even using the Stampede. So they were looking pretty dominant in that fight, actually. I thought that things were going to go better for Edge, but it took a little bit more than they could chew.
Yeah, now there's an Arcane Rune Puck, so Coil is back up in 25, still ready to go, pushing forward into this enemy jungle to take farm away. Yeah, I thought that was, watch it back. I mean, I thought this was Edge, going in, killing off the AA, easy peasy. But no.
It gets that ulti out. Look at that quick ulti from AA. The quick ulti was very, very key. It turned the fight around entirely. Had he not gone that out, that would have been disastrous. The AoE damage clipping both with everything. We don't need to watch him do it again.
Oh, smoke now from Edge. PP going for the epicenter, Blink Burrow onto the Puck. They've got chain stuns for days. The Stampede doesn't come fast enough. It looked like maybe there was a moment where the little piggy could run away home, but he's sent to market.
And Ace, could he be in danger here? He is behind them, but he's also completely alone. There's a pipe TB coming in, so he can block up the magic damage.
Yeah, I mean, he pops his Blade Mail and turns onto Michael. Ancient Apparition and TA coming closer to maybe join this fight as Ace is tanking through the brunt of the damage. Serpent Wards drops on his head as well. He will die, but my goodness, it took some commitment from Edge.
I like Serpent Wards creating a mini arena there with Centaur and Sand King in it. It is like a tiny little Thunderdome for just the two of you. Sand King, the lone survivor. Big things happening for Edge, though. Getting this value and hitting their timings in a pretty good way as well. Having the Sand King have this much momentum early game. The TB leading the way in net worth with a pipe super early. He's going to become massive. And I don't necessarily know that they have the best heroes to deal with him later on. Like, yeah, you have some chain stuns, and you do have AA, but even AA ulti cannot stop the Thunder. And most of your damage is magical. So this pipe is right now going to be a big problem. Meanwhile, of course...
Is it down to Gaimin Gladiators to, like, slow things down, then?
I think they want to play towards the Tormentor. They have TA. They want to probably farm most... Oh, they're actually catching on the gate.
Yeah, Fisher on the TB.
Does he
Tofu
golem?
now sees Yodomi. Ace wandering across. They're going to straight up Echo Slam this Warlock, who drops the rock on them. They'll lose Yodomi there as the Stampede maybe gets the Centaur into a better position to play aggressively. Gaimin Gladiators realizing they can just kill the Golem off, stop any wave cutting from happening, and then think about the Tormentor after.
That's the Stampede, AA ulti, and Shaker ulti used, though, so I think you want to fight this if you're Edge. You have
Look at the
Epicenter, just about positioning now.
AA is dying to Reflection and TB Illusions. Sand King's lurking in the shadows there with the Luna wrapping around to get into position, cutting the wave, and making sure that Gaimin Gladiator's position here is pretty tenuous. It's hard to hold on to this Tormentor high ground.
They're now starting the Tormentor. This is a risky move coming out. They do have some vision. Got Kevin down here as well. Scouting and a ward. Tormentor taken, but now they know they're low HP.
And now Ace is going to front line to try and bodyguard them as the jump on the TA is there from the Sand King. They've blown up the Ancient Apparition, but PP is also dead. Tofu's going to block them out with a Fisher, but the Eclipse and the damage of the Luna starts to come in. They're trapped in the corner. The There's no escaping from this. Oh, Vitaly comes out with a double kill. Luna shreds them, and Puck, Quinn, the only survivor, getting away.
I mean, that's so big. I like that PP had the decision to be... he understood the stress of the moment, right? He had to blink in and just get the catch. He didn't epicenter before blinking, but they were TPing out. They were trying to get out of there, so he just went, understanding the urgency here of the scenario. And I think if he didn't, it wouldn't have worked out at all. I mean, he dies, but look at his team cleaning up as well. This is just Luna and TB just absolutely going ham.
2 agi carries from your 2 side lanes.
Yeah, Luna needed this. Now. Luna needed this quite badly. Her game wasn't that impressive. Now she's #1 in farm. She's absolutely leading the way. Mantis style complete. Mask Command's complete. Sitting in a good spot. And I would be concerned, man. If I was Gaimin Gladiators, I would not feel very secure about myself after losing 4 heroes in a Tormentor fight like this and going late game against TB plus Luna when you have TA. TA is not the ultimate late game carry. We're not talking about some gyrocopter or something like that. This is... You need tempo, and these early fights matter a lot.
I mean, right now you desperately need this Earthshaker to get Blink Dagger. Like Tofu, he's been pulling out all the stops here. You're playing this Earthshaker pos 4, but without a Blink, without this initiation tool, you just feel so lacking on this team.
You know, he's gonna get his Blink Dagger soon, but it begs the question: should he have done the Seb build, the old Shard build that we saw a lot, with maxing Aftershock early and fissuring from far away and then just spamming spells with Shard? Because that was a really successful build as well that Seb kind of pioneered some years ago.
He's gonna stampede away from the chaotic offering. A tanky fella, this Centaur.
Blink is up for the Shaker now, so they have the combination of him blinking along with the Puck blinking in. Don't yet have the Centaur blink because obviously he needs to go for some aura. He's the designated aura builder. And I think maybe they just want to wait for their own pipe at this stage, because Luna ulti has done a lot of work in the previous fight. Get something to mitigate Sand King ulti, Luna ulti. Too much magic damage right now. So that gives them what window? They want to play on Blink TA, Pipe Centaur, and Puck. He gets grabbed, but Fisher is there.
Looks like Tofu.
That's a good point, actually. Shaker is really good against Rasta. He can always sit so far back and save people from Shackle. Malady fighting against the Sand King. He almost solo kills him. Dear God. Wait, what? Is he? There's no way he's killing him. Glimmer Keep comes in to try and save him. I think he would have died. I think without the Glimmer, he would... Without Glimmer, I think Malady solo kills that. That's absurd, man.
Oh, wow, absolutely wild.
How does an Aghanim's Blink Sand King almost die to a Mana Boots Ancient Apparition?
I mean, what level is AA? He doesn't have level 2 ulti yet, does he? No,
he's level 10.
Level 10.
He doesn't even have the +2 Cold Feet talent yet.
Nutty. What a hero.
Yeah, I mean, turns out he hurt. Blink Hex. Again, the Fisher, though.
Stampede is there. Quinn still dying, though. Phase shift. Jump away with the orb. PP down. As Ace, again, tanking through the onslaught. Pops the Essence Ring, and he's still got 1,000 HP to go. Coil used, but only really catches the Warlock. Maybe Roshan can come in and do some damage.
Throw me away.
Fisher blocked as well. Where are you going now, buddy? Fatal Bond's not really bouncing onto any dire heroes, just on the creep wave mid. Not going to offer too much of an opportunity there, as Quinn's going to bottle up a haste rune.
Big damage being delivered to Gaimin Gladiators, but they managed to salvage the Puck from that situation. Again, on the back of a nice Fisher to cancel the Shackle. They didn't have all their tools at their disposal on Edge. They didn't have Warlock ulti, else I think they could have used that to stun the Puck and still get that kill. You see the danger in these fights, though, and the game is very, very close right now. every single fight matters so much for Gaimin Gladiators. They need to work out an advantage. They need to pull themselves ahead, because if the game just goes slowly into minute 40, minute 45, I think Edge are going to win. I think their team is way stronger.
It's like the next, 5 minutes of play is super important, right? Blink, Earthshaker is here. We've got this puck who's kind of been itching. Quinn has been ready for a little while, to get involved and hasn't really had the teammates to go with him. But yeah, now we've got the Blink on TA with that Deso Dragonlance. The pipe already done, of course, on the Centaur, nearly at the Crimson Guard. Pivotal moment for Gaimin Gladiators to get involved, and around a Roshan pit, what better objective could you have in the coming minutes?
We have a little Warlock autobiography update. He's on page 8. He's working on page 9 right now. It's taking him a little while. He's still building that book. It's gonna come out one day.
He's thinking back to his formative years.
Yeah, maybe he's lining up his publishers already, and considering.
It's gonna be a bestseller, New York Times, worldwide.
Yeah.
The annals of Warlock.
Oh, top lane no shaker around this time, but Stanking just running away, doesn't have any spells. No way to follow up on that.
Randy Ice Blast flying over the top.
TA is moving in down bottom, but not having puck in the area. Oh, she gets blink hexed quickly.
Yeah, this amazing go, counteracted by the Fisher, but the Eclipse damage nearly finishes off Watson. The refraction barely gets her away from danger. Now Tofu gonna hold the line here. Terrorblade's running across though. Look at how quickly Vitaly is getting involved.
Oh, he's charging him.
Reflection runs in, doesn't really get the connection he wanted. The team wasn't there with him.
We see the value of the Stampede globally, able to help. Ace wasn't down there bottom, but it doesn't matter. He can still yell at his team to go faster, The Stampede command has been urged. That was really close. We've had a few moments now where Gaimin Gladiators feels like they're flirting with death, Gareth. It's very, very risky, but that is Golem forced out. So you could say a big win for them, getting rid of a long cooldown spell and a big team fight component for Edge. Especially now as Roche starts getting on the menu as well. Both these teams strong enough to very quickly take down Roche. We have an Orchid complete on the Terrorblade, so that puck has to be super careful getting close to him. As well as the other heroes.
What game did we have earlier on? It was the game where Bristleback bought a pipe. How was this? Was there another one with Extreme Gaming in it? I remember making a comment thinking, hey, we need to, teams need to think about their spread of damage more, physical, magical. So one item doesn't just do you in, a BKB, a pipe, etc. So I'm kind of looking at this, Edge's draft here, tons of physical, tons of magical, lots of spread damage with Fatal Bonds to amp it all up. This is what we're looking for, because it puts Centaur in a spot where he has to buy Crimson and pipe.
Yeah, definitely.
And you need BKBs as well.
Yeah, it was just a previous game, right, where Ace went for the Bristleback and pipe. But yeah, this game...
Hex.
Ooh, nice double stun.
PP in with a double burst strike, catching out the Ancient Apparition and the Earthshaker. 2 supports down, potentially on the doorstep of Roshan here.
Yeah, I think this is the key to success for Edge as well. They need to focus support. I've actually started to see a bit of a shift more and more in Dota lately, where teams are focusing a bit more on killing supports and going for the supports first, which has sort of always been a big thing in Dota, right? You take out the weakest link first when you want to break a formation. But I feel like it's being hammered home a little bit more lately. And I think it's important, like recognizing the correct targets. We've seen time and time again what happens if they shackle someone else and Shaker is around. He just stops the initiation.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of elicited this mood. Hang on a second. They've got the play, the move into the Roche pit with the Ice Blast. Echo Slam! Pike and Vitaly are dead! PP can't respond.
They got the Roshan too?
From the south side, they've caught them both. The burrow to high ground will get him some safety, but Michael is done for. Watson with Quinn clear them out, and they've got a waiting rift to jump on this, tanking even deeper with a Fisher. Wrong side, doesn't block him to the right, but Quinn has got the gap closed to get over the top. Picks up an ultra kill.
Oh dear God, man. It's universe moments all over again. The Shaker and the AA ulti in the Roche pit. Favorite place to be for these two spells, dear God.
TI5 all over again.
Yeah, absolute massive slam right there. Let's have a replay of that. Ooh, look at the Roche too. They perfectly get the Roche with it. And getting Aegis as the support feels good, you know? Tofu knows he did good there and gets immediately rewarded for his efforts as well.
And that's not just a recovery, that's this is our game now.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is what they needed. I told you, they need to be ahead. They need to pull themselves up and get an advantage in this game. This was absolutely massive and a risk that Edge took. They knew AA was alive, AA ulti could come in, and knew Shaker had ulti ready, but they thought they were fast enough. Just barely not in time.
I mean, I've completely forgotten what I was, what we were talking about.
Forget everything else, man. That was beauty.
Gracious. I know, got Aegis and Earthshaker, not the ideal hero to have it on, but you've made sure the Luna doesn't have it.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Now he can, you know, I don't know, stay alive a little bit more. He's a worse target, actually. I did say they want to kill the supports first. Now the supports have Aegis. What are you gonna do now?
That's what we were talking about. Well, we'll get another kill on Warlock here. Glimmer Cape countered by the Sentry. But yeah, so I'm thinking back, I guess, 2 years ago, where we had this. I don't want to call it a meta, but it was like very common in even the first like 15 minutes to have buybacks from support. You know, they're so cheap that you would die, you would buy back, you come around into a fight, and you would be ready to go again. Nowadays, it feels like supports are a bit greedier with their early buybacks, and they're looking for these earlier primary items. So you don't have these, you know, really poor squishy supports running around with a bracer and a ward. They have blink daggers and force staffs and ghost scepters and all sorts of business.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, supports are greedier now. I don't know if I want to say than ever, but definitely greedier now than historically has been average, right? People tend to build a lot of items. Some games you might see some Silencer farm up Ag's Refresher or some stuff, you know. Silencer are a very common hero that we've seen banned out quite a bit so far. Ooh, Sand King gets hopped. Quickly taken down.
Where even was he? Yeah. He was over there.
Centaur TA absolutely splattered him.
Oh, and Warlock is still writing his book.
Well,
R.R. Martin over here.
He's adding
Song of Ice and Fire.
He's adding some sad pages, I believe, right now.
Well, the formative years were good. He was happy as a child, and now he's grown into a sad adult.
Yeah.
Upset with the state of affairs. Disappointing that no one else is helping him write his book. He needs an illustrator. Where's Grimstroke?
Yeah, exactly. He needs a co-author. Someone to join him in this. Oh boy. That's a quick kill onto the Rasta. And punishing all these wards as well. Clean that up. A bunch of extra farm. Yum, 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 says the puck. Working on his Parasma.
And Sand King top getting eyed up by Earthshaker, TA, and AA.
Yeah.
They're going around through the Ancients. They might be able to just go for the Warlock here. They don't need to Echo Slam. they do not need
Dear Diary, today I walked up a ramp.
Goodness.
So scary, man. I'm just imagining if, you know, historical, like, medieval battlefields were like that. You just gotta walk up a hill and it's like, you can't see what's behind it. It's an entire army. They were there, just camping us. We had no clue. They made no noise. Mid lane, quick takedown again. I mean, all over the place. They're just bleeding out.
That was PP. Where did PP go? It was like in Macbeth, right? When the trees are moving. The forest. The leaves.
Well, you'll get a more Nordic reference. It's when the snow starts talking. That's when you know Finland is close. You know.
The White Death.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What was it? Simo Heiha or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Simo Heiha. Yeah. Boy, dear God. The racks are just gone. I mean, there's no way they can contest without Sand King, so these chain feeds that have been happening right now, even allowing Ace to feel safe enough to do what he's doing right now, he's standing on the high ground. He's got all the items that he wants. He's saying, come at me. He's got a tough ninja gear as well. Getting a 36 armor, pipe for magic resistance, and a Lotus in case things go sideways. He's just not the hero you want to jump. And meanwhile, Luna running for her life.
I've not seen Luna on my screen in a good 5 minutes. We've been watching Sand King and Shadow Shaman, trying to cut waves, trying to maneuver across the map and get something done. They've been dying for it. Luna has been farming, but when you're farming to then use BKB defensively to TP home, feels rough.
Yeah. Also feels bad for them that they've gone to this sort of half-committed build on PP, right? He's got the Ghost Scepter and an Ogre Club, but that means he's not going for that Brooch, not going for that Shivas, never gonna have that massive amount of damage coming out from him. I can totally understand wanting a BKB and needing a Ghost Scepter, seemingly, but there's already a Nullifier on the puck, so that's already a useless Ghost Scepter almost. And I can't help but feel like he had to play for the, the big power spike potential of the Sand King. Now it's rough, man. They can't shove lanes. There's no safety on the map anywhere. Even Tofu is strong enough to solo look for pickoffs. He knows there's no BKB. Goes on the Luna. His team is far away, but he can hold the Luna for quite a while.
Pike. Trying to turn on the Earthshaker. He's got Pike, saves, heals, but Tofu's still going to die here to PP. Ace with Quinn. They're in onto this Luna, though, and Pike is dead. Trade out another Shaker for a Luna any day of the week, and Gaimin Gladiators is going to pick up more here as they can't get the Sunder off. The TB's fallen, and so have the rest of them. And Shadow Shaman's trying to blink away back behind the tree line, but in comes Quinn, and Watson swipes him down. A double kill for Quinn's Parker. 5-man wipe, and Gaimin Gladiators, they've stamped their mark on this game now.
I feel like right now you can think about like alternate dimensions, right? Like, what if they didn't go Roche, or what if they were in time for the Roche? How would this game have manifested? Because it all swung after that. The one Roche attempt where they got extremely punished. 4 heroes died. Roche got stolen. Aegis got stolen. And after that, they just didn't have any way to regain their posture in this. Which is weird because they were ahead at that point. They were in a really good spot. And then just too many items completed. All the key timings. I mean, too many items to even list off. But everyone on Gaimin Gladiators got their power spikes.
Yes, like game 1 of this series was kind of easy to read, right? It was straightforward for Gaimin Gladiators. Their draft played out as it was expected to. In this one, it's felt, I guess it has compounded the issue that you pointed out, that they have yet to play together as 5 from any position of power. They've not been able to levy any advantage, basically, right? They've found advantages as Edge. They've found ways to get out on the map, get to item timings. They've got all these elements, all the tools in their kit, but actually using them has been a massive struggle against Gaimin Gladiators.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of times they also were disjointed, right? They got the Sand King ulti out, but didn't have the Warlock ulti. They Warlock ulti, but didn't have the Sand King ulti. And this is a massive pet peeve of mine that I come back to. A lot of teams that are not really at the top of the line, right? If we're looking at Edge in a sort of critical way here, they're not as famed as Gaimin Gladiators. A lot of it comes down to finding the coordination for those big spells to land together. In this game, they've just been too disjointed for too long. Obviously, ever since the Roche play, I mean, it's been hard to even go out on the map. But even before then, they had quite a few moments where they struggled to try and catch someone, used a lot of resources, and didn't get the kill.
And this is somewhat of a last-ditch effort now. Blink Hex into Epi Burrow onto the TA, but they're able to turn with Stampede, BKB, blow up PP's Sand King. Ceasing to exist, dead without buybacks. 45 seconds, you're down 2 heroes, and Tofu's come in, drifting forward, straight on towards the Warlock and Terrorblade. They drop the Golem to return fire. Ace is dropping low. Terrorblade and there's Luna trying to stand their ground and fight back, but Vitali's dead yet again. Diving in deep, Quinn has found the opening onto Yodomi. And now, with 4 heroes gone, GG called, they tap out and give Gaimin Gladiators a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, it's going to be quick and easy for them. There's not really